What up? It's your boy T-Bird Reaction Today's Music Monday. Now, as you know, this is not only 50 years of hip hop we are celebrating, we also celebrating 40 years since one of the most iconic boy bands of all time, or slash later on male group of all time, got their start in the music business as well too, with their debut album Candy Girl. And now we're looking at different videos run by the channel Mr. DJ. This is in the album retrospective of some of their iconic albums through the years though. It has no New Edition up there. For you know, as you know me, I'm a big New Edition fan though. I was pushing heavy for the movie and my reaction videos as well too though. So the last time we did some New Edition video, we was looking at their iconic debut album Candy Girl. We got them from the start. Got started their success in the music world, although they didn't receive the success financially as well too though. So now we're looking into the bigger successful album, which is their self-titled sophomore album in 1984, New Edition, that spurred out a good amount of hits such as Cooler Now, Mr. Telephone Man, Lost in Love, and get among others. One song was one song has a popular sample to a well-known hip-hop song by Bow Wow and Lil Sierra, and Sierra Like You will sample of Leave You Again by New Edition. But this album as well too will help put New Edition, make New Edition even more iconic though, although still they still didn't think they just do financial wise for their hard work, and because of funny money. But other than that, let's get into the album retrospective of the one of their true iconic albums right here, New Edition 1984. Let's get it.
Years ago, everything with us was supposed to happen to heighten the group.
Yeah.
Remember, our idols were the Jacksons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our idols were the Temptations. Our idols were Blue Magic. The music got us here. And we are what you call some young kids that had a dream. And we stepped all the way in it.
And also the iconic signature.
What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. If you haven't already, check out my video essays on Ralph Tresvant's Living in a Dream, Bobby Brown's Mystical Magic, New Edition's Tender Love, Every Little Step, and the retrospective on the Candy Girl album. In each video, I dive into interesting topics not commonly known about New Edition. By 1983, New Edition had taken the music scene by surprise. True to their name, they cemented themselves as the New Edition of the Jackson 5. Popcorn Love, Jealous Girl, Is This the End, and Candy Girl captivated fans across the country, with its title track surpassing Michael Jackson's Beat It for the #1 spot on the Billboard R&B charts, a testament to their massive popularity at the time. Unfortunately, the group reaped very little fruit from the success of the Candy Girl album, each member only earning $1.87 for their album sales and touring efforts. This financial fiasco would set the stage for the next chapter in their careers. In this video, I'll be discussing the history leading up to, during, and slightly after New Edition's self-titled album. While you're here, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get into it. In response to the apparent embezzlement of New Edition by Maurice Starr and Streetwise Records, a legal battle ensued between the group and the label, seeking to be let out of their contracts, maintain their name, and compensation for damages. New Edition hired Steve Machat, who would not only help them win the court battle with Streetwise and Starr, but he also secured a production deal with MCA Records through Jump and Shoot Productions. A deal that, unbeknownst to New Edition, would be mutually beneficial for all parties involved, except the group.
Yup. If you watch the movie, remember when Mike in the story barged into Jared Busby office talking about Fast Break. It was a cover up name for the real production Jump Shoot. That's why he kind of got that evil money thing though, because the actual label is just a music note with basketball sneaks on there as well too. But yeah.
Work began on New Edition's second album with Jump and Shoot bringing in songwriters and producers Vincent Brantley, Ray Parker Jr., Rick Teemus, and the Cimbello Brothers. Honorable mentions being Ray Parker Jr., who would go on to write and produce the hit title song for the blockbuster film Ghostbusters, which would reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 on August 11th, 1984. Michael Cimbello, writer and producer of Maniac, and would top the Billboard Hot 100 the previous year on September 10th, 1983. Richard Rudolph, who collaborated with Stevie Wonder on Minnie Riperton's classic song
My Ruba Husband. I know he had some work on this too. Nice.
Lovin' You, co-writing the number 1 hit that topped the charts on April 5th, 1970.
Minnie Riperton's husband. My Rudolph's daddy. Minnie Riperton's husband. My Rudolph's daddy. Sorry about that, folks. You know when you try to get something out, the wrong things come out closely, but not as much. That happens. So sorry. My Minnie Riperton's husband, my Rudolph's daddy. That's what I meant to say. My fault.
75. The inclusion of proven hitmakers would prove to be a recipe for success. Vincent Brantley is largely responsible for the creation of New Edition's bubblegum sound that the group will become known for. Hoping to repeat and surpass the success of Candy Girl, MCA insisted that songs be written specifically for Ralph.
Ralph had already established himself as the marquee singer for the group. And Ralph never deemed himself the vocal lead. It was kind of thrusted upon him. Management had their own agenda.
Yeah, I saw how that
because they would pull us to the side and say, Ralph is going to lead this. Make sure it's for Ralph. Make sure it's for Ralph. Everything was for Ralph.
Every time we hit a studio, because of the success of Candy Girl and that album, and I had so much to do with the lead of that, when we were going into the studio or people were submitting records for us, it was always with the intention of duplicating the formula that they saw on those albums, which was my voice with some of the other guys supporting that, like we would call them the Jermaine parts, that would be against what Michael would do, and Michael would do the lead, and Jermaine would come in with his part. Those parts would be written up naturally for us when we went in the studio. And so after a while, it became like nobody wanted to come to the studio.
We want to feeling like they're getting better and better as singers, as performers, so we want more parts. And that's when the girls are screaming. As time is going on and Ralph is being handed the lyrics, it's getting more frustrating.
I loved Ralph's voice. He was just so smooth. It was the breathy. Everybody saying silly things without knowing. I knew exactly what to do with this kid.
Enter Cool It Now. Released as a single on August 27th, 1984, its post-disco production, along with Ralph's vocals, Mike and Ronnie's raps, made this track the definitive sequel to Candy Girl. The music video showcasing their clean-cut image and setting the trend that every pop and R&B boy band would follow for years to come. Cool It Now would go on to become the group's first top 10 Hot 100 hit, reaching number 4 and also number 1 on the Hot Black Singles chart. The group's intention was for each member to have their role on each song, much like the Temptations. In response to the over-focus on himself, Ralph would intentionally include the other members' names in his rap, a phrase that would go down in history. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, used in popular sitcoms like Fresh Prince and The Jamie Foxx Show, to name a few. Drake would use the phrase in his Fire in the Booth freestyle, and Will Smith would also do the same in his viral YouTube video where he recounted meeting Michael Jackson for the first time.
Mike? He's like, hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, what's up, man? Do you like comic books? Yeah, I love comics, Mike. I love comics. Yeah, I've got a Fantastic Four, first edition, number 4. Want to trade for that? I got the new edition. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike. Yeah, that's the one's first appearance of Ralph.
No question that Cool It Now was the most popular and successful song on the album. Cool It Now will be followed by Mr. Telephone Man, written and produced by Ray Parker Jr. The song was originally recorded and released by solo artist Junior Tucker for his own self-titled album in 1983. His version makes for an interesting listen, being that the production and some of the vocal arrangements are
I've kind of found out about it a little bit later though, but this is pretty cool.
very distinct from the New Edition version. A true team effort amongst the 5 members, with Ricky Bell singing his own verse along with Mike's signature interlude. Released as a single on December 8th, 1984, and peaking on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 12, also securing another number 1 for the group on the Hot Black Singles chart. Bobby Brown's flair was on full display in the music video, a prelude to what he would go on to do years later. On February 7th, 1985, MCA released Lost in Love as a single, a lofty love ballad where Ralph's vocal ability is front and center, with Bobby's background vocals most prominently heard. Written by Russell Kramer and produced by Richard Rudolph and Michael Cimbello, Lost in Love reached number 35 on the Hot 100 and number 6 on the Hot Black Singles chart.
Nice.
A month later in March, My Secret will be released as a single, another example of Vincent Brantley's bubblegum production with Ralph's vocals fitting like a glove. New Edition's popularity lent itself to the appearance of then Los Angeles Laker Magic Johnson. New Edition would also perform the song in the film Crest Groove. Although not released as a single, I'm Leaving You Again is one of the album's standout tracks. Written by Ralph and Ricky, produced by...
I'm gonna tell you that before, it was a sample on, Sierra, Bow and Sierra Like You. That was one of my favorite songs of that album as well, too. When I heard Bow and Sierra, I'm like, oh, I've been a fan ever since. I'm like, oh, I love it.
By Brantley and Rick Teemus, Ralph singing lead vocals with Bobby and Ricky sharing co-lead vocals.
Leaving you again. I thought I'd tell you when. I know how you must feel.
What we're singing about now is mostly what teenagers go through. You know, Cool It Now is about, you know, guys telling their friend, you know, to cool it now. He doesn't need to be in love right now, and they want him to be with them all the time. You know, they like to play basketball. Every time they're doing something, all he's doing is thinking about a girl. You know, so all our songs are based on what teenagers go through. And I think as we get older, our music will mature.
Years later in 2005, the song was sampled on Bow Wow's hit song Like You featuring Ciara. Baby Love and Delicious are analogous to each other but distinct enough to be remembered in their own right. A collaboration of Richard Rudolph and the Cimbello brothers.
Nice.
Baby Love has a hard-hitting 80s synth groove, poignant lyrics, supported by New Edition's harmony on the chorus. Delicious initially slows down the tempo with lyrics about present love in comparison to Baby Love's past. The tempo rises again with a repetitive hook. These two tracks are a reminder that an album is much more than its singles. Hide and Seek is a prelude to the King of Stage album, sequenced right after My Secret. Bobby Brown shows his capacity to lead and carry a song on his own, much like Ralph. The hip-hop rap scene had already began to make rumblings through the music scene, with New Edition very much aware of it.
Kinda Girl?
Kinda Girls We Like being another early merging of hip-hop and R&B. Produced by Richard James Burgess and collective songwriting by New Edition. This song was much more reflective of the space that the group was in creatively, rather than the bubblegum pop sound that they were given. Groups like the Force MDs and the Fat Boys were also known for songs that shared a similar sound at the time. Marianne strays from the rest of the album in terms of production, tone, and writing. Written by Rick Chudikoff, Steve Goodman, Arno Lucas, and Tina Marie. Produced by Peter Bonetta and Chudikoff. This song is comparable to Kool and the Gang's own hit, Joanna. A song professing its love for the woman whom the song is named after.
That song was underrated.
Repeating her name with vocals and harmonies in a way that's hard to forget. New Edition truly shines where each member has the ability to share lead vocals, making for a much stronger song. Ralph, Ricky, and Bobby being heard prominently, true to the group's initial vision for themselves. I believe this track would have been a better option as a single than My Secret.
It would have
Exposing the general public to this track would have proven early.
That is fact. That song should have been a good single right there. No lie. That was a good song. It could at least been not even like a single to chart, but this to be released out. That would have been good.
Early on, that there was more to New Edition than just the bubblegum pop sounds of Kool It Now and My Secret. If successful, it may have led to the inclusion of more mature sounding songs moving forward.
Who do you feel your main audience is as far as the core of New Edition's support?
Teenagers 15 to 18. I think that's our main audience.
What do you think adults think about you?
Well, when they listen to the song Marianne, I guess they think a lot about us because it's a nice, mature song. And also Lost in Love.
You wrote and produced a couple songs in there.
I'm wondering, I guess Ronnie wasn't 7'6" yet because that one's still tower over him. Even though he's like still the tallest.
Kind of Girls and I'm Leaving You Again.
The New Edition album will go on to be certified double platinum, selling 2 million copies in total. Their position in the industry as the new definitive male boy band was secured. Television performances on Soul Train to a movie cameo in Crush Groove, performing at the legendary Apollo Theater to touring across the world. The album was the template that every single group that came after them used. Undiscovered artists like Usher would go on to say that New Edition was the barometer for his career.
To be a fan of New Edition was almost a thing that guys were like, the girls like them, so I'm not gonna like them too much. But for some reason, I was attracted to what they were doing because it really spoke to who I was as a person, very, very young. But I remember looking at this, album cover, and in that moment, I saw myself.
Its songs have stood the test of time and remain the favorites of fans across the country and world. If you made it to the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure again.
Alright, so this was like I said, this is definitely a good video right here. Definitely good. Like I said, I'm a big fan, and some of the album songs they were talking about is definitely what he said about the album was pretty right as well too. So next time we get into this, whenever it is, it'd be next week or we act there, who knows. I'm gonna see if I can try to squeeze in a double. Might have to make some space in because I want to do a double play of this, either all in one video or a back-to-back video as well too. Because we're gonna take a look at the album after this, Awful Love, which is a personal favorite of mine as well too. Because we almost had a little transition of the bubblegum to the mature in a way in between. But the only thing about this though as well too, this will be the last album Bobby Brown would be recorded on. But unfortunately, he didn't appear in none of the videos because he was out of the group at the time as well too. The reason I say it's going to be a double feature because around this time, a soon-to-be newer member of New Edition released his breakout album as well too. After they releasing 2 albums, one solo album one solo self-titled album around the time that they released New Edition released Can Girl to a duet album with Stacey Ladsaw, and this is the chemistry album of later on new member of New Edition Johnny Gill, where he released his hit single that became part of that till this day will be part of the New Edition collection, and that's Half Crazy. So anyway, other than that, that'll be, if I have time, I'll try to do a double. I will try to make time either during Music Monday or outside, or sometime this week on my free weeks, or Tuesday or Thursday. I'll try to squeeze them together either one video or back to back. Either way, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.